For fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 20 Ultimate Team coins, make sure you guys go check out my sponsor U4GM Coins. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good guys? It's Fire here, back from the video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys one of my favorite defenses to run, what I think is one of the most underrated defenses that nobody really runs, and it's going to be primarily to defend the pass. You guys see, we're going to be in the Green Bay Packers defense today, and we're going to be running this big dime 1-4-6. Now, mainly known for the cover 2 sink, DB sting, and cover 3, but the play we're actually going to be running is this cover 4 drop. I'm going to show you guys how you can disguise this as a blitz and the best ways to maximize the coverage defense. So, with that being said, let's just go ahead, hop straight into it. The offense that I want to go against is going to be this gun bunch. It pretty much works against any passing offense, but bunch specifically just because of how compressed it is. And 1-4-6 is primarily the best defense to defend this gun bunch. That's excluding palms, obviously, but I'm going to show you guys how it can defend, these corner routes, roll out corners, all that jazz. So let's just go ahead, come out in the play. When I run this particular play, what I like to do is baseline press. And the reason I do that is so that Jair Alexander can go down all the way on that right. He's going to defend the corner routes a little bit better like that. The next thing you should do whenever you run 1-4-6, if you're running any play, you should always move these guys in. Even if I'm not blitzing one of them, I need to disguise my play as I'm blitzing. So if I'm on offense, I can't see any users. Right now, I'm under the impression that he's sending at least 5 people, or he's 100% blitzing one of these cornerbacks. Now, obviously, we know that we're not doing that, but you can tell that it looks like we're blitzing. And I'm sure if you play online, you're going to have to max protect. So that's the reason that I'm just going to block 7. You're under the impression that your opponent is smart and he's not just going to send 5 out. But the next thing that you're going to do, and I always like to do this out of my cover 4s, even cover 4 palms, what I like to do is man this solo receiver up. So I'm going to man him up, but you guys see he's kind of out of place, so you're just going to want to click on, move him back a little. It doesn't really matter if he's pressed or not, so you could even move him back right here. But you just don't want to let him throw maybe a quick out route, quick slant route, quick dig, whatever the case may be. And yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do for this first setup. It's relatively a stock setup. Pretty much everything should be covered. I'm going to try and throw this corner out. It's going to be, keep in mind I'm using 2 controllers, so. But against 1-4-6 specifically, they really shouldn't be able to roll out. They can't chop block on that strong side, but what they're going to do is just still try to throw it. So they're going to throw it, boom, curl flat. He's going to easily pick that off. Jair Alexander was in the area as well. We're going to, it's just very good blitz. And the key I found to this play is that you really don't want to shade outside or over the top. I found when I'm running this cover 4, whenever I shade out over the top, it actually does get open more, and whenever I shade outside, for whatever reason, the corner out does seem to get a little bit more open. Now, that was one of the rare times where I've seen that curl flat defend the corner out particularly well, but primarily the person that is going to be, making a play on that corner out is going to be Jair Alexander. Now, obviously, this defense isn't going to be good against under center sets because of the run aspect, but against bunch, no one really wants to run the ball anyways, so yeah, again, the setup, you're going to base align, you're going to press, and you can have your auto alignment to base if you just want to skip that step. Just baseline press, move those 2 corners in. That's probably the most important thing, and they're also going to play the run better like that, and then you're just going to man this player up and move him back a couple of steps like this. Now, if you see him have a route, maybe he's running verticals, he has a route that can actually beat that, maybe move him back a little bit even more. But primarily, no one's just going to put X on a streak there. That's the reason why you don't even need a flat here, which is going to take us to our next setup. I'll go over it in the next play. But again, you're just going to use this free safety. If it was flipped, I'd use the strong safety. And yeah, you can also contain with these D linemen if you want to prevent them, from rolling out the pocket even more. But again, I'm just going to try and throw this corner out here. Obviously, we're going to max protect because I'm expecting, 7 people to be sent. But boom, throw it. Sullivan's right there to make the play. And you guys see it is, completely boxed as we mentioned earlier. But that's going to take us to our next setup. The next way that I like to run this play now. This is just an extra way an extra step, and it's really going to depend on your opponent's tendencies. And what I mean by that is how he's running bunch. If he's going with crossers across the field, then you obviously don't really want to run it this way. But what I like to do against bunch, more times than not, if they have a crossing route, you can obviously defend it with your user. If you see them abuse that, then you can, switch it. But something I like to do that's just extra is just blitz the slot corner. And the reason that you can do that is simply just because it's not going to be an issue of him being in a curl flat. But when they run like flood, there's no point for him to be in a curl flat. It's a wasted zone. So that is something extra you can do. When I like to run it, I'm just going to slant my D-line outside, and I'm going to go ahead and quarterback contain. And yeah, if I want to get a little bit extra, something I could do is maybe man this guy up, see if that works. Now, this blitz isn't going to be as good as cover 2 sink, but you guys see it still does come free, and, it still does get pressure. It's basically a cover 2 sink with a cover 4 drop base, and you guys see this is primarily the way I run it against bunch. Against certain, symmetrical formations like tight, this might not be the move, but against bunch specifically, or any formation where there's a single side receiver, this is definitely probably my favorite way to run it. You could always go with that bluff blitz to throw them off, and you don't really want to go run cover 4 every single play because they might figure it out. You really want to switch between cover 2 sink, cover 3 sky, and cover 4 drop. It's going to be absolutely money. So again, I'm baseline pressing. I'm going to manually put Y on a blitz, and then I'm just going to slant outside contain. You guys see he's not going to be in the contain. Just move him into the contain right about there. And then you're just going to move this corner in as well. Even though I never blitz this corner, you're still going to keep moving him in every play. And then again, you're just going to man this linebacker on the running back. What that does is you guys see the running back didn't pick up the corner last time. The last thing, man up this solo side receiver. That might seem like a mouthful. It might seem like a lot of adjustments, and it is, but really you're not making too many coverage adjustments except for blitzing that corner, manning up that receiver, and then just manning up that running back. Should be pretty simple if you have the adjustments down. If not, I would recommend going in practice mode, trying this yourself before hopping into an online match. But we don't really need the hook curl. We don't really need the curl flat, especially with our user here. And they're only going to have 3 routes on the field. It's not like they're going to send 5 out, especially if they see your pressure getting home. They're never going to send 5 routes out unless you're blitzing, 8 people. So this is definitely probably my favorite way to run it. You guys see, boom, they throw it. Everything is completely boxed. And they shouldn't really be able to get out of the pocket because you've got to keep in mind that D lineman's going to be on a contain. One thing that I should mention, though, is that this isn't going to be a guaranteed pressure every time. If they really know how to block it, they should be able to. But, it's just going to be good, especially if you want to run this play. Like I said, what I like to do is I like to come out in the play. I like to bluff blitz. So I'm not going to blitz this guy. I'm just going to move him in maybe for, 2-3 plays. And then I'm actually going to blitz him. So you guys will notice if you play me that I'm not going to blitz this guy. You might think, oh, I don't need a chop block, so maybe they get lazy, they forget an adjustment, and they don't rock with that chop block. But for the most part, it's going to be a very difficult play to defend as far as coverage and the blitz. You're just going to mix them up. You can mix in coverage 2 plays and then go with the blitz and then back to coverage. It really is on you, and you really just have to see how they defend it. So again, let's just max protect. Let's put him on a corner out, put him on a streak. And you guys see, here's a look at our setup. We're going to snap that ball. I'm just going to use this dig route. And you guys see, even though it wasn't instant pressure, we're still able to get relatively quick pressure. And you should be setting 5. Also, when you man up that running back, that player's going to act as a quarterback spy. So let's say they somehow are able to get out of the pocket. You can always press in that right stick, and that linebacker will actually blitz, which is nice because he's helping with the blitz, and he's also acting as a QB spy. So he also helps with maybe drag routes, slant routes, dig routes, routes over the middle of the field, which is definitely a benefit to running the play. So again, I'm just gonna run this player here. I'm gonna man him up. I'm gonna baseline press. Forgot to do that, and then you're just gonna man this player up. Like I said, I like to move him down a little bit. There's not really route, in bunch that's going to beat this per se. But again, just using him. And let's just snap the ball. You guys see, boom. That time we're going to scream once again here. And yeah, like I said, it's not going to be a guaranteed pressure, but it can be, glitchy. If you really want to mix things up, you could even send pressure from both sides. I don't really ever run this, but if you really want to, get glitchy on them, just slant inside, contain, move both these players in, and then what you're going to do is just use him. You're going to use the corner routes, whatever. But yeah, this is definitely not my favorite way to run it. But if they do send people out, you should be getting instant pressure. Obviously, if they max protect, you might not get pressure, but you will have those corners containing, forcing him to sit in the pocket and make a read, which is something that makes a lot of players really uncomfortable, especially in a gun bunch setting. But yeah, just mix primarily those two setups together, and you should be absolutely money. Mixing that blitz, mix in that coverage a lot. I like to keep that coverage because when you have 8 people in coverage, he has 3 people on routes, it's going to be difficult for him to find pressure. Obviously, I do recommend getting a D-line ability to definitely help with that pressure. Otherwise, sending 3, it could be difficult. But if you do have those contains, you're going to force him to make a read from the pocket, and that's something that a lot of players dislike doing. So that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, if it was very helpful, make sure you hit that like button, show your support to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to show your support. Make sure that you are showing that you like these videos and want me to keep uploading them. Leave some suggestions down below in the comments, and peace. I'm out of here.